seat of a 2003 Ford Focus RS MK1. Now I think we'd all agree here, this is something that we've wanted to see on the channel for a while. Now this car is owned by Vinny, an avid Ford enthusiast, which you can definitely tell when you're jumping in this car. The fact that he's got the original mats, which are, you know, quite a rare option these days to find. He's got the sales brochure in the back, and the way this car is presented, fitted and finished with the modifications that have been done, you can tell this is enthusiastically owned. So straight away jumping in this car, what are my thoughts? Well, I love the driving position. It's got a very nice feel. These seats are fantastic. They're very supportive, very comfortable with these sporty racing stripes through them. Now what intrigues me the most about these RS Focus, the Mark 1s, is the fact that I think personally this was the start of the whole Focus RS craze that has now swept the nation. So, a little second gear pull for us, 3,000 revs. Oh wow! Bloody hell, he's pretty bloody quick. You know, there's a nice amount of torque steer. Now I know that sounds a little bit weird, but it's quite, you know, nice to have a little bit of fight. I always like a little bit of fight in these front wheel drive turboed cars, and this one, there isn't, you know, a massive amount of torque steer, don't get me wrong, but it's nice to, you know, fight the steering wheel a little bit as it goes through the revs and through the boost. Makes a fantastic noise when it's on boost as well. So as standard, these run about 212 brake horsepower. This one, although hasn't got a true figure, in the not so distant future, this is going for live mapping. So, you know, with the turbo, with the modifications that have been done to it, we're looking at around 320 when it's done. So at the moment, I can't, you know, tell a true figure, but that's what's coming. Oh yeah, yeah, this is good. Now I think a lot of the Ford community will agree with me here that this is sort of the daddy of the Focuses at the moment. This is the one that, you know, started the craze. This generation of Ford lovers, this was the one that started it. You could have a fast Ford hatchback, and I think it does an unbelievable job of wearing the RS badge in all its glory. It's just great to see that these are, you know, as good as I thought they would be. Second gear, you roll on. Woo! Oh, wow. It is such a good laugh to drive. I love the squirrel from the torque steer. I love the boost as, you know, you get into second, into third. The surge is ridiculous on it. So guys, I've just pulled over. Let's have a look around this Ford Focus RS MK1. Now, straight away, I really like the arches on these cars. That's the first thing I'm sort of going to point out. The sort of thickness of the arches really shows off, you know, on the RS. You can really tell that these are, you know, a cut above the rest, and are the RS model just from the arches on them. Starting at the front, I do really like the shape and the look of these generation Focus RSs. Really like the thickness of the bumper, coming down the gills on the side, the mesh at the front with the RS badge. Really looks good. This one has had the ST170 lights put in, because originally they're chrome, so these are the darker ST170 lights. And on the bottom it's got a Phenix Motorsport splitter going across there. Sort of brings the front of the car up a bit. I do really like that. Coming around the side, you've got the original RS Focus wheels painted in white. Big set of 4-pot Brembos on the front of these are standard. The blue on these is my favourite part though. It's sort of glistens in the sun like that, as you can see. Really pops in the sunlight. And I do like the colour contrast. Usually I'm not a fan of the white wheels, but I think it works with the blue for, you know, the Ford fans out there. I think it's a good colour combo. Coming around the back, the rear bumper sort of has
a bit of a diffuser on it as standard, with these little lines, sort of swoops down underneath the bodywork. This one also has the rear tinted windows, and just from this angle you can really see how sort of big that rear arch is. You've got a full Mongoose stainless steel exhaust system. You've also got the US rear lights on this one, so instead of having orange repeaters, you've got clear repeaters. And it's also got the US rear fog light down here with the reverse light. But at this angle here, you can really see how big and bulged out the arches are. You can definitely tell that these are, you know, more sportier and a lot thicker than the standard, you know, ST170s and the standard Focuses. Also as well, the number plate, Focus RS, which I love. Awesome plate. Coming inside, you're met with this rather striking looking interior, which I'm a big fan of. The seats are very supportive, look really good as well, nice shape to them and comfy as well. They've got Alcantara centers here and here, with this leather blue stripe going through them. Sparco of course as well as standard, and that theme goes on to the back as well. You've got the Sparco in the center of the seat there with the stripes going down both seats. And as we jump in the car, the steering wheel itself is blue and black to go with the rest of the interior. You've also got a blue leather and sort of a suede effect gear gaiter and handbrake gaiter. But this sort of shows how much Vinny is actually into these cars. He's got a Focus pen down there, which is awesome. Got this sort of raised up center console down here with easy access to the gearing, so when you're sort of plodding along your B road you can easily get to your gears. It's also got a stack boost gauge up here, and it's also got a scan gauge up here. So usually this would be sort of a coin holder, but Vinny's taken his time to actually put a scan gauge in there. So as you come and put the car on, ignition on, you have the start button down here, start straight up, and up here you have bits and bobs that the car didn't come with as standard. You have a true reading to the miles per hour, but these don't come with a temperature gauge. So you can have a temperature gauge up there, you can have volts, you can have all sorts of things, and it's a code reader as well, so you can knock off all your codes and stuff if you need to. And coming under the bonnet, this car actually has a Demon Performance JonFRS turbo sat down here. It has a Direnza Manifold. It has a Ford Actuator and Recirc Valve and a K&N Panel Filter, and obviously you've got the heat wrapped manifold there. Lots of Samco piping. But yeah, I think as a quick overview, you can tell that this car has been loved. It's owned by an enthusiast. It's the little modifications on this one, like the headlights, the rear lights, the little bits and bobs that have been done. So yeah, as a quick overview of this car, there's a lot of thought and time that's been put into by Vinny. Really impressed with the work that's been done. And these are a future classic, remember. These are going up in price. I remember them being, you know, £6,000, and now they're double that. So, you know, when I started driving, they were that price. Now they're slowly creeping up, and they will carry on creeping up. They are the next, you know, RS Turbo of the previous era. These, to me, were the start of, you know, Ford's Focus, sort of where it is now. You know, the Mark II being so big and the Mark III being, you know, four-wheel drive, you know, all that sort of business. But this one is probably where it started, I would say, with this sort of generation of fast Fords. You know, if you want one, I think now is probably a best time to go and get one. Also, they are awesome to drive. So what are my overall thoughts on this car? Well, as we cruise down this fantastic B road, I've got to admit, I can see why these are so good. I can see why the price is going up, because they're such a good all-rounder. They really know how to put a smile on your face. You can get the kids in the back, shopping in the boot, and, you know, be part of, you know, the Ford scene, which to me, from an outsider, is a great place to be, because it's like one big family. Everybody interacts with everyone, everyone's friends with everyone. The Ford scene seems to be a lot more fun. There's a lot more enthusiasts out there as well that are willing to, you know, look for the right mats like Vinny has. These are, you know, the original mats for the car. The little bits like that that, you know, really show that these are enthusiasts of these cars. They love their cars. You know, I was chatting to Vinny about this, and he was saying, you know, he's never going to sell it. He's going to be buried in it, which can't be said for a lot of other scenes these days. So guys, there we are as I let the car tick cool from the little B-road bash we just had. I'd like to thank you all for watching. Make sure you liked, share and subscribe for more videos, and I'll see you all on the next one. Cheers guys.